Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. The day has been a full one, considering that the bans of Luna's Handmaiden have been lifted. As a result, almost everyone is reveling in the things that they have given up, and while Maeve has not been an exception, she has been putting her mind to other subjects, other thoughts as well. Upon her visit to Belvedere Castle, she, as a matter of course, went to the library, but took a brief stroll up to the roof, shifting into the Umbra, hoping perhaps to see some of the smaller wind spirits that have gusted about in the past, and naturally came up with nothing, and with some mild disappointment, headed back towards the Cub Cabins, thought about the various things she's been trying to get at, and finally, after what probably took far, far too much thought on her part, recalled that, oh yeah, it's like there's a person here who's specifically trained to do exactly these sort of things. Go figure. And as such, she will exit her cabin, leaving behind her pile of books and various made-up chiminages, and shift Umbra side, shift to Lupus, and start nosing around in search of the Den Mother.
The Den Mother is lying in the Umbra, relatively close to the Cub Cabins, watching that Umbra reflection, and just waiting for Cubs to come to her.
Now, how fortuitous. This cub is coming. She'll come along, probably set her head and tail a little lower appreciably as she gets nearer, and upon coming properly into the Den Mother's presence, will roll herself over.
And the Den Mother goes over to Maeve and nips her neck.
And she'll scuffle her way back up to her feet with an appreciative little head bobbing motion. Thank you. Den Mother, may I ask your advice?
Yes, child.
I know that I have been told not to overthink what we are going to do, but I seem to be bad at it, and I thought that perhaps there are wolf spirits about the Sept, and that approaching them might be a good way to offer us some sort of boon in regards to working together in a pack and using the tactics that we've been slowly learning.
Still with higher thought.
She'll kind of paw at her muzzle.
How do wolves work together as a group?
Through necessity?
No. They do it, is the answer. They simply do it. You are trying to find ways to work together as a group. I suggest you work together as a group.
Well, we've been doing hunts together. We have been training together.
All of you?
She pauses to think about it. The hunts are not necessarily all of us every time. We can't all fit in the van, but different groups. We mix and match.
Because the more you work together, the better you are at working together. So when the humans come with their dogs, their guns, their metal birds, what will your pack members do?
They will do as we have always done. We will take care of each other.
No. What will they do when they are coming to skin you? What will all of their actions be?
Specifically?
Yes. Don't think. Tell me.
Many of them will attack. Many of them will be running with us, nosing us along, making sure we stay together.
Which ones will attack? Which ones will flee? How will they flee? How will they attack?
Chino will attack. Probably the dogs, taking what is right in front of him. Talia will attack as well. She may go after the ones with the guns. She's puts more thought into it. Nicholas will probably go for dogs. He also fights what is in front of him.
They will not
Albert
have
and Lucas.
They will not have a chance. So they will not have the chance to think. You will not be able to think. This is what matters when you go there. You have to know. You, like me, are a crescent moon. You are going into the Umbra. If you are not in a position where the pack is instinctively looking to you for guidance, then you are unprepared. You need them to know that.
How can they? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you need them to know that you can lead them in the Umbra. Who leads in the Tellurian? If you form a pack, if you do, for each is able to choose their own. That is separate. But right now, you will be grouped in the Umbra, and you are their Theurge.
But if this is a place where I cannot use higher thought and cannot do what a Theurge does, how do I lead them?
You will still have your instincts and base nature.
That sets her back a bit. She'll stack her paws a bit closer.
The ability to think is reachable even there, but it is hard and ultimately self-defeating. For the more that you think, the harder it is to leave. So I ask again, when they are coming to skin you, when their dogs are hounding you, when the fire sticks are ringing and stinging your hide, and when there are metal birds in the sky, what will your packmates do?
The Aruns will leap to our defense. I know that Lucas will be ferrying us along, be doing his best to keep us together, keeping us moving. Albert will probably be keeping us moving as well. I haven't spent as much time with him, I can't honestly say.
And that is the problem. What keeps the nation strong? What keeps a wolf pack strong?
The pack itself?
Unity. Guidance. You are the family of the Ardrai. I am of the line of kings. It is leaders that make it strong.
I had never considered that I might be a leader.
Your blood is of kings. So your blood is of the alphas of the Fianna tribe. The Fianna will expect and demand you to lead. Your blood does not grant means that you have no space for excuses. You must lead. The nation needs you to lead. You have a responsibility to lead.
She'll nod. It's clear that she's been set a little bit off balance by the idea.
You say that people will follow Lucas. What is Lucas?
A Ragabash.
And what is the duty of a Ragabash?
To scout ahead. To... I
Wrong.
haven't thought of it from a lupus perspective.
The duty of a Ragabash is to challenge and be defeated by the Alpha. To make sure the Alpha stays a good Alpha. To allow the Alpha to assert their dominance. Not to lead. The Shadow Lords are not kings of the nation, after all. The Silverfangs are.
She blinks a few times, and it all makes sense. It's obvious that she's digesting it. She's just very much being taken aback.
So, what do you think now you need to survive in Wolfholm?
I need to come to terms with my duty as a Theurge in a place where we will be lupus.
Yes. What else?
To know my pack. To spend the time with them that I can trust them to do as they will do, or to teach them to do what they need to do.
It is something more important.
To build trust with them?
A deeper kind of trust. Not the trust that packmates have for each other, but what they have for an alpha or beta. The Silverfangs have stood unchallenged over the nation for a long time. Your family have also stood over the Fianna tribe for a long time. Do you know why this is?
No, Raya.
Because others know that this is right, and that maybe particularly those cursed with an over-reliance on their human nature may question the decisions of the alphas. They know that actually there isn't a better alpha available. They know that we understand duty. Your family understands that. Your pack must trust you to lead them in the Umbra. The cubs must trust that the full moons will be able to fight intelligently in the face of numbers and guns and vehicles and all of the horrors of the human race that will be summoned to oppose you.
If I do this, if I am trying to lead this pack, if I'm trying to keep them alive, if I'm trying to think to keep them alive, will I get stuck there?
If you think, yes. You can't think. You must know. You must do. It must be feeling, not thought. You have recently, I understand, done chimnage to the Handmaiden of Luna.
Yes.
What did you have to, and you have to give up your books.
Yes, Raya.
What did you learn from that?
Well, I learned that I don't need them to gain the knowledge that's necessary. I
Yes.
learned as well that my pack will step up for me, even if all they offered is comfort. My pack mates came to me and offered me the same comfort by reading to me, spending time with me, telling me stories. I learned that the knowledge could be found elsewhere.
Yes. And you had lived for a time growing to adulthood as a human, which takes a while. Not learning that knowledge could be really found outside of books.
I lived in a small and removed place, right? There was the knowledge of my parents, which I of course listened to, but much of the rest I learned from books, and much of what I thought was reading for play became very applicable when I came here and realized that the spirits were real things, and much of what I had read in the books applied.
But they will cage your mind, the books. They teach you to think too much. I was a Fostern before I learnt to read the human glyphs. Nor my time as a clear. I never read a book. I have read not many since. They are strange and alien. It is things like this that you must let go of to truly understand that other half of your nature that you're struggling for.
Would you prefer me not to read then, Raya? At least until I've reached a better understanding?
I will not order you not to read. It is what you think will better will better help you to stop thinking and start knowing and feeling. Trust your instincts. Hone your instincts. And
Well,
above all, make sure your pack trusts your instincts. When an alpha says run, we run. When the alpha turns to fight, we fight. We do not question. The alpha does not even speak. We look to the alpha and does as he does.
I will still do my hunts and my training with the others, but may I start spending part of my days with you so that you can teach me more of this?
Certainly. Much of the Silverfang cubhood is spent learning how to lead. It's a tragedy you are so far removed from your family.
Yes.
That they could not teach you the burdens of the crown.
I suppose that I had thought that being so far removed, it would be something that did not apply, but it seems like it's more important than I first thought. I thought that it would be maybe wiser or easier to turn to someone else for leadership.
Anyone in the Sept sees when they look at you. Before they see you, is they see your blood and your heritage. You cannot run from it. You should not run from it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to hold up as a symbol of pride. One of the Homid books I have read It was strange. It made no sense. He was, as every Irishman, the son of a line of kings.
She tilts her head slightly. What was the title again?
I believe it was Ulysses. But, yes. I will teach you to lead as I can, but like I say, what's most important and greatest lessons is that your pack trusts you. When you look at the striders of ice and concrete, when Kachina, or Aaron as was, when Aaron instructs them, Travis is of higher rank than him. But when he instructs Kachina or Travis or Emmett in an action, they will not hesitate. When Katori instructs the Hunts of the Lost, no one will question it. When Mother Larissa commands the Sept, people do not. When you have reached that point with the Cubs, then you'll be prepared to go to Wolfholm.
She nods a little bit. Is still obviously thinking too much, but is at least understanding and accepting the terms that are put before her. Then I should go back to them, I suppose.
Yes.
And she'll kind of back a couple steps and hesitate a bit, since obviously head bobs are a more Hamid action in farewell. Yeah. So she'll have respect enough to back a couple steps. Thank you, Ra. And then once she has gotten a respectable distance, turn about to trot back to the group.
Yeah. And Mist Whisper will sit down on her haunches and keep waiting in clear view from the Cub cabins.
Well, all right. Then as Maeve returns to her peers to begin this new little bit of initiative, we will say thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching, and thank you, ST, for STing. We'll see you next time on The Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.